But if you don't decide, it's gonna be bad for both your personal life and your professional life, because you're gonna have one foot in both camps and you're gonna serve neither of them very well. So the first thing is to decide, what days am I going to take off over the next couple of weeks? Decide, choose now. Excited about today's episode, you guys. Going to be amazing. We're thrilled to be with you. What an incredible time of year this is. Hopefully everybody is recognizing that, and hopefully everybody's feeling just how special this time of year can be for a number of different reasons. For those of you that are just joining, welcome. Let's give it just a second here. Welcome everybody. Thrilled to be with you today. We're recording this on December the 19th, 2022. So some of you will be watching this afterwards. I'm excited to be with you. Again, welcome to everybody, whether you're watching live or whether you're in the webinar. We're going to talk about how January starts now. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, Justin. Wait a minute. Wait, stop the bus. Hold up. Now? What do you mean? Like, it's the 19th. I'm still working on my Christmas shopping. What do you mean January starts now? Well, let me tell you the reality of this is that if we're really honest with ourselves, January actually started in like September, like maybe October. Or you think about like the sales cycle of real estate. It doesn't happen overnight. We all know that, right? Anywhere from 60 to 90 days, potentially this year, even a little bit longer. Houses are sitting longer, right? Longer days on market. So to really look at, okay, if I'm going to hit my goals in 2023, I really needed to have my foot on the pedal in like September, October, because all of that's feeding January. Now, I know it's December, and maybe some of us are just having that realization of like, oh yeah, shoot, am I too far behind? The answer is the same that I would give you if we're talking about planting a tree, right? When was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. But if you didn't do it then right now, today's the best day to plant a tree. The same is true with this principle, is that we can either have the option to say, well, in September, I had my plan super clear, and I had my foot on the pedal all the way through September, October, November, December, and I'm starting to cash in January to where the first week or two of January, I've already got closings. Like I'm already ahead of my goals come the first week of January. Now, some of you are in that spot, and I commend you. Well freaking done. So proud of you. And for those that didn't plant their tree 20 years ago, the best time to do it is today. So I want to tell you a couple key principles to being sure that you do that you get yourself in momentum now. Because the reality is this, oftentimes real estate agents, we will see the holidays as a haul a month, haul a weeks, haul a month. By the way, for all those that are joining in, so glad you're here. Welcome, guys. The fact that you are tuning into this tells me that you are the kind of agents that want to have momentum in the upcoming year. So excited to see all you popping in here. Welcome. So excited to be with you. So here's what I want to tell you is that just because you work the weeks between now and the end of the year doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you an ungrateful person. It doesn't mean that you don't have balance. You have holidays for a reason. They're holidays. Now, if by chance you have paid the price and your bank account is full and your pipeline is full and you have closings lined up, and this is your couple of weeks to say, foot off the gas, I'm going to enjoy it, then by all means, you deserve it. Do it. Do exactly that. That's exactly what you should do. Okay. For others who are like, my bank account isn't quite full yet, my pipeline is not full yet, and I don't yet have clarity on what 2023 is going to be like, I'm not quite there yet, then this message is precisely for you, because January starts today. Maybe like, but Justin, it's the week before Christmas. Kids are out of school. I got things to do. I've got things planned. Let me tell you what it can look like. Even if you have other commitments, even if you have other family commitments, you can still make it happen, because of all the things that we have to do in real estate, some things matter far more, especially when it comes to creating momentum in January. Okay. Let me tell you, I was in my office this morning at 6:30 a.m. Okay. Now I'm Pacific time. I wasn't dealing with anyone on the East Coast. I just knew that if I was going to be actually present for my in-laws who come out of town or come to our house tonight from out of town. They're here for 3 days from North Dakota. I don't get to see them very often. That if I was really going to be present with them, I needed to have my mind cleared, because we can trick ourselves and say, you know what, I'm going to take this week off. But if we have not paid the price to take this week off, you know what happens is that we're there taking it off, but in our mind and our heart, we're like, there's this wrestle going on saying, I really should be working. I really should be working. I really should be like, I don't have the pipeline or the income to be able to be taking this off. Okay. If that's you, you can have both, but it just has to look different. You just need to shift, number one, the activity. So this is the first thing, is be very clear on what days you are taking entirely off. And it might be Christmas Sunday, that's it. It might be a key day of Hanukkah, that's it. It might be New Year's Day, that's it. Now, I'm not prescribing that, you decide. But if you don't decide, it's gonna be bad for both your personal life and your professional life, because you're gonna have one foot in both camps and you're gonna serve neither of them very well. So the first thing is to decide, what days am I going to take off over the next couple of weeks? Decide, choose now, right? Like, what can I really afford to do? Okay. And you might say, I'm going to work half days. So I'm going to work a half day on December 26th. I'm going to work a half day on January 2nd. Okay. Just choose it. I'm just saying, be intentional, choose which day. Okay. And then the other days, or on those days that are half days, just move your work up, right? Get up earlier, go to bed earlier, get up earlier, and do the work that matters the most, which is contacting your people. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, so that's the second point. Let me back up. First point, number one, make a decision as to which days you're going to have off. Okay, actually choose it. In fact, right now, it's nice to listen to Justin, but it's way better to apply what I'm teaching. Okay, so open up your calendar on your phone. Hopefully you're watching this somewhere else, and actually decide, what are the days I'm going to take off? Okay, and what is my actual work schedule going to be? Because for me, I'm in a spot where this is a really key time for me. I coach real estate agents, and now they're deciding what they're going to be doing for the upcoming year. And so it's a great time for me to be making connections and helping become a part of their business, become a part of their plan. Okay, so for me, this isn't a great time for me to take off, because there's too many agents to help right now. There's too many opportunities for me to serve agents in a big way. So I'm not taking it off, but I am moving my work to earlier in the day, right? I'm starting like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm going to work until like 10:30. Okay. That gives me 4 hours. Now, you might be asking, like, what can I possibly do that time of day? You're probably not going to be calling people. Okay. But you can be proactively, you can even draft emails and schedule them in Gmail to go out at 8 a.m. Right. So you can get in and do a bunch of work. You can create email campaigns. Okay. You can make a list of all the people that you're going to text. And as soon as that happens, you can copy and paste certain templates into there. There's things that you can do even early in the morning, and even get through your email inbox, get it set up so that at prime time of contacting people, you actually have like the free schedule to be able to focus. And you might just decide that, like, well, I kind of like this. I kind of like getting in early and getting ahead of things, so that when it comes time to lead gen, I actually have a list of who I'm going to be calling. I know what I'm going to say, and I really have dedicated time, because I've already responded to all of the fires from the day before, right? Or from the week before. Like, I've already taken care of those things, to where now I can really focus, and people can wait a couple hours while I make proactive contact. Okay. So once you decide what hours you're going to work, then I want you to choose, what am I going to do at that time? What am I going to do at that time? What's the best possible use of that time? And the answer should almost always be making contact with people. The more real estate related conversations we have with people, the more money we make. It's quite simple. The more real estate related conversations we have, the more money we'll make. So you might say, well, how do I get into a real estate related conversation the week of Christmas, right? It's a little odd to be saying, hey, are you interested in like buying, selling, or investing in real estate? They're like, well, I'm actually interested in enjoying the holidays with my family, but thank you, right? So that's maybe some of the self-talk that you're having in your head. Many of you are familiar with the Ford acronym. Okay. The Ford acronym, or some even use the FROG acronym. Okay. Very similar. Let's use the frog. I feel like a frog day. Okay. So F stands for family. Hey, just checking in. How's your family? You guys excited for the holidays? Okay. That's family. Okay. If they don't have like direct family, maybe it's, hey, how's your parents? How are your siblings? How's your neighborhood? How's your community, right? Ask about the key relationships. That's F, the key relationships in their lives. Okay. The R stands for recreation. Okay. Well, you guys do anything fun for the holidays? Like, what are your plans? You guys are you going to go sledding? Are you going to go to the beach? Like, what does it look like for you? Okay. That's the R, recreation. Okay. O stands for occupation. By the way, how's work going? Really interested in hearing how things are going for you. And you might right at that point put in a little bit of a plug saying, as you know, I'm in real estate and I get to meet a lot of people. So just to plant this seed, should you ever need to meet somebody to help further advance your career, or should you be looking for a new opportunity, please think of me, because I'm just building a very robust network through the people that I'm serving in real estate. And I would love to connect you with somebody that helps take your personal life, even your professional life, to another level. So just keep me in mind, right? So now you're coming to give, right? Always a little awkward when you show up at a Christmas party, when you're just there to like take gifts and not give any, okay? But if you're showing up to this party, meaning this phone call, with gifts to give, all of a sudden it's fun and we're excited to go. Like, I can't wait to give them this gift, right? So same concept. If there's negative self-talk right now about, I don't know if I want to be calling people right before Christmas. Well, of course, because you're calling to take gifts. That's weird, right? But if you're calling to give gifts, it's going to change it. It's going to change it for you, okay? If this is resonating with you, put in the comments, whether you're watching this on Facebook or if you're here inside the webinar with us, like share an aha. Here's why I'm inviting you to do that, is because you learn when you interact, okay? When I am the only one interacting, you don't learn at a deep enough level. I want this to transform you. I want this to transform what you do in the next couple of weeks, because it can transform your January, okay? Your January kicks off the spring selling season, right? It's the precursor to that spring selling season. And so what you do, how many appointments you have in January will determine how many sales you have in the spring. And if you wait until January to have those appointments, guess what? You're going to get probably appointments the latter half of the month. You missed out on at least 2 weeks, maybe more. So now is a great time, again, to be connecting with people. So going back to the acronym of FROG, F is family, R is recreation, O is your occupation, and G is your goals. Hey, as we look at 2023, what are you guys' goals for the year? You guys have any big plans? Any big things you're going to be accomplishing in the upcoming year? What are you excited about? Okay, that would be another question. Now, the reason behind that, right, is that number one, you're wanting to connect with them. You're wanting to give gifts. You're listening for what their goals are, and you're looking for ways to add value. Now, the common real estate agent looks at that and says, I'm going to give value as a real estate agent. That's the only thing I know how to do, is how to help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And you're very myopic, okay? Now, there's some value to being focused, but in these settings, it's also good to say, just to let people know how valuable of a person you are to have in their network. So when they say, for example, our goals for the upcoming year, we're thinking about, going on a big vacation to Europe. Oh my goodness. Tell me more about that. That sounds amazing. Have you been before? I had some friends that went to Europe. They had the best experience. I'll check with them and see what things they would absolutely do again and what things they wouldn't. If that's helpful to you, I'll report back and share what I learned. Or maybe you went to Europe, right? Now, this is just an example. Like, when we went, here's the one thing that we would do 100 times over again. And here's the one thing that we were told we should do, but it wasn't that cool to us, right? Just be valuable. So as you think about this acronym, FROG, family, recreation, occupation, and goals, you're asking that so you know how you can be of value. Now, if they bring up real estate, of course, you'll talk about it. When you talk about occupation, when you talk about goals, they may very well ask the same question in return. Well, what are your goals for the year? I'm really looking at serving twice the number of families I served this past year. I love what I do. And I know a lot of people right now are really looking for more of an advisor in real estate as opposed to just someone who can, put a sign in the yard. And I'm really looking to expand the amount of people that I serve so that more people get that level of service. It's my passion, right? So if they bring it up, then you bring it up. Then talk about it. Be prepared to talk about it. Well, how's the market if they ask? Don't just say, oh, it's tight. Actually have a thoughtful response. They can get, oh, it's a tight market from any news headline they hear. Say, here's what we're seeing. And actually have an educator say, rates have obviously impacted. Rates have been impacted by inflation. Here's what we're seeing. Job growth went up a little bit in December, which is good news. Here's what's happening with inflation. Here's what's happening. Here's what's happening with rates. Here's what the best economists I get my hands on, here's what they're saying, right? Actually have a response. You'd be amazing how much more of an advisor you will feel like when you say not just what they're reading in the headlines. When they hear from you the same thing that they can read in the headlines, do they need you? No. So do a little bit of homework. It's not going to take you more than 10, 15 minutes to come up with a really thoughtful response so that if and when they ask about real estate, you have something very thoughtful to share. But again, your call is designed to give them like assurance that you're here for them in all areas of life and to connect with them. Because again, the connections that you're making now will lead to appointments in January, which will lead to sales in February, March, April, and beyond. Got that? Okay. Now, going back, I want to review this with you because this is very critical, right? Is that the common agent right now is taking their foot off the gas, even if they haven't paid the price to do so. They're taking holla weeks and holla months instead of holidays. So decide up front what you are going to take off. Then move your work a little earlier in the morning so that you still have time to enjoy some of the afternoons with family, right? Or shift it one way or the other. Whenever is a key time for you to connect with the people you love the most, shift your work hours and then cut out the fat. Really get to the stuff that matters the most, which are conversations with people, okay? Conversations with people. And I would even interject conversations with people who, right? Conversations with people who can lead you to more business. Now, for those of you that are familiar with what I teach about the upstream model, you'll appreciate this image here. You might be saying, well, like, I've already contacted my sphere. I don't know who else to contact, okay? For some of you, you will recognize this theme or this image here, okay? So there's a stream of clients working its way towards real estate agents. See down here at the bottom, this is where common agents are hanging out. These are the ones that are taking their foot off the gas in January, or sorry, taking their foot off the gas in November, December, and the first part of January, okay? And then they're showing up being like, where's all the business? It's really tight this year. It's really hard this year. There's not enough business out there. Rates are high. Inventory is still tight, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, there are other agents called upstream agents that are further up and they're having conversations before people are ever choosing a real estate agent. They're having those conversations now. And they're also interacting with what I call upstream partners, which are professionals in the marketplace who all day, every day are dealing with motivated buyers and sellers. Call them attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, insurance agents, lenders, right? Spend your time not only contacting your sphere, but making connections and filling your January with people who can open the door to lots of clients. Okay, if this is of interest to you, I can send you a link to a webinar that I recorded just last week. I went 2.5, almost 3 hours on how to find key partners who will help you, right? Key partners who will help you find streams of motivated buyers and sellers. Okay, so if that's of interest, just put in the comments, tag in the comments your name, and I'll send you a direct message of that link. Be more than happy to share that with you. I think you'll find a lot of value in it when you're looking for more opportunities in the coming year. So in recap, you guys, the best professionals out there are running into the storm. They're not running away from it. They're not hunkering and hiding and pretending the real estate market's bad. They're realizing that there are truckloads of closings happening all the time. And those that run into the storm, those that have the mindset of saying, there's opportunity, I'm going to go find it. I'm going to go get it, right? They realize that in this market right now, the consumers that are around them, their sphere, their upstream partners are wondering about the real estate market, right? They're wondering about the values of their homes. You see, they had a plan. They had a retirement plan. They had a move up plan. They had a sell my home plan, buy an investment property plan. All of those plans, they don't know what to do anymore. They don't know what to do because things have changed and they're reading headlines that are scaring the crap out of them. And for you to be an advisor and step into their life and give them wise advice around what matters to them in their specific situation, they're hungry for that. So don't kid yourself and think that nobody wants to talk real estate right now. Everybody wants to talk real estate. They just need someone who cares enough about them and knows enough about the market to actually connect the dots, to say, hey, here's what's happening in the market. Let's hear your situation. I can help you. So those conversations are waiting, and they're waiting on the other side of you deciding what days you're going to work, moving up your work hours, and reaching out and making contact with people, being genuinely interested in them as a human, family, recreation, occupation, and goals, and being prepared anytime they bring up real estate to give a thoughtful answer. You guys, these next 2 weeks have the potential to be absolutely magical, not just because Santa Claus is coming to town. He is coming to town, no doubt. But more importantly, they have the ability to be magical because you are prepared to give your all to your business during key times, and then to give your all to the people who you love the most during the rest. I'm extremely grateful that you guys have committed the time to spend some time here with me. If you want to connect with me, I'd love to help. I'd love to see how else I can connect you to resources. If we're not yet friends on Facebook, please reach out to me, connect with me. There's some ways that I can add additional free resources to help you. So, and my final request of everybody is have a very happy holidays, and do it by thinking bigger. And I'm going to stay on here for just a minute so I can grab the names. I will have Jake, my trusted friend here, help me with some of these people who are reaching out. So good stuff, guys. We will be sending out some resources to you guys to be sure that you have some of the help requested here. So with that, everybody, we are done. Have a very happy holiday season. We will be reconvening in January. So until then, have very happy holidays and get in momentum now. January starts now, folks. Talk soon, friends.